So see, this is our as we had already seen this Selenium web driver. First, we started our Selenium IDE in first class. So, what are the requirement of Selenium IDE? What is the uh, mm, main requirement thing we had seen for web driver? We have to require first thing will be Java, then our and this is the text editor Eclipse, and also there will be one required thing will be Selenium jar files. So the jar files you will get from this section. So Selenium we can get from seleniumhu.org. In this website we'll get all the respective documents from there. Second. Yeah, from here you can get and you can see the jar files and everything you can get. This latest version of Selenium standalone server. This is not required right now when we are using grid. So at the time we require this Selenium standalone server, and this is required Internet Explorer driver when we would like to execute our test script in different browser like Internet Explorer. So the 32-bit window in the Explorer and the 64-bit window Internet Explorer. So there are two types of system with us in window platform. The one is a 32-bit window and second is 64-bit windows. So as we discussed earlier also, whenever we install the Java in our system, or whenever we install Eclipse in our system, so that time we have check the what is the system type with us. So system type we have to just check from our properties in my computer property section. Here you can see the system types. So what the system type is, according to the system type we can download our this Internet Explorer file. Okay, so here in properties section, when you go to this system section, here you can get system type. That's a 64-bit operating system. It means our system will be 64-bit operating system. Okay, so we have to download this 64-bit window Internet Explorer. Just you have to click it, and this is a normal zip file. So you have to extract somewhere and store in some folder. Okay, and remember those folder ID. Okay. Okay, now second thing will be this is our Selenium client and web driver language binding. Okay, so what is a language binder? What is our this web driver? So we are using here Java. Okay, we are using programming language as a Java. So we have to download this first the version, first topic. This is Java. This is the first link of download. So this is the updated one, 2.49.1. Now this version 21st 116. It was released on 21st January. So we have to download this. Okay, this is 249.1 version will be there. So just click download in this download link. You have to get a normal zip file. Okay, you whenever we complete it, let's see like this. We have to I like to open it. Whenever complete the download, then we'll extract it in some location. Okay, some folder we would like to extract it. Okay, so see right now I got in after downloaded this is come into our temp folder. Okay, suppose I am come to temp folder, and there is some system performance issues. Mm, So till the completion of this process, also I would like to give one information. So our next class will be happen on 13th Feb onward. Okay, actually I am going somewhere, so I am not available in this 2 weeks. 2 week class we have to manage it. So what we have to do, we are managing. If you have any query, so the brush up section will be going on in our this weekdays, 8 to 10 8 hours time frame. So you can join, and you can ask some question. We are managing some another trainer. So those he has explained you about Java. So whatever query, if you are practicing and getting some queries, so he will able to answer you and solve your queries. So the brush up section will be going on for Java section only. So then remaining part will start after 13th February. Okay, so whenever you have any questions, so you can join on Saturday and Sunday, 2 weeks. Then they will communicate to you, and also you can uh, solve your problems as well. If suppose there's some issues in my system, I have to format it once. Temp folder. This is the earlier version 2.48, and it was moved outside. Actually, there's a temp folder. It goes to here. Use if you are not getting this thing, so you can just download again. And yes, once again, download it. Once again, we have to open the containing folder. So we got it. Where is our folder? Selenium. The file is not displaying here. Yeah, this is a, so right from here only you can just right click. This is our jar file, Selenium Java. Now we can extract anything. You can take extract file. When you have to, so you have to select your location, in which location you like to save this file. So right now I'm using, in my system I would like to use our D drive. In D drive there will be some place with me, this kind of Selenium training folder. Inside the Selenium training folder I'm using this Selenium code. Okay, now when you go to this folder, then you can see the in Selenium training section there will be this one. So this is our file, 2.49.1 Selenium latest version of Java language binder. Okay, now here you can see there's two jar files, and there are a lot of jar files inside the library folder. Okay, so all this list of jar files, all this 50 jar file, you can see this 50 items selected. So all these 50 jar files plus this two jar file which is outside of library folder. So inside the Selenium 2.49.1 version folder, inside this, so this 50 jar file inside the library folder, and the two jar files from here in this location. So this all these 52 jar files should be required whenever we integrate our Java program with Selenium. Okay, so whenever we would like to create our Selenium script, so at the time this 52 jar file will be required in our library section. Okay, so this is a major requirement for whenever we are creating some Selenium script in our program. Okay, so first of all, for that we would like to create some test cases. How can we write tests, how can we execute this? So one major thing will be there. Last time also we had discussed about this thing. Whenever earlier whenever we are create a program, whenever we are writing our Java program, so at that time you had seen we require whenever we are writing programs, so at that time we require some public static void main. Thus main function will be required. Okay, so which will be help us to execute our program. But whenever we are using this Selenium script, so in Selenium script we do not require this kind of main function like that. We are using either JUnit or test-ng. Okay, so we are having two kind of test unit testing framework. That is a one is JUnit and second is a test-ng. So we will move ahead with test-ng. Okay, test-ng is a you can say test-ng is text next generation is a unit testing framework for Java program. Okay, so whenever some programmer who is develop his application in Java program, in Java application, so they would like to test his unit is working properly or not. So at that time they are using testng as a unit testing framework. So they will create build and execute those unit and get the result. So same kind of thing we are creating here, because whenever we are creating some test script, so that test script create as a unit wise unit. Okay, we are having like different scenario, like registration scenario, login scenario, forget password, change password. And in application model wise, if you see, suppose we are having some travel domain. So in travel domain you can say there will bus booking, there will be railway ticket booking, there will be flight ticket booking, cruise booking, okay, car booking. So this kind of activity, this kind of application in web application you can get. So for entire scenario, okay, you can say what is scenario? Test scenario is a subset of a set of test cases, or we are using here test suite. The test suite is a set of test script. Okay, so we are using different test unit. So test script, so the test script is behave as a small unit of us. Okay, so that unit we are using execute so help of test-ng. So first we would like to see I am creating one Java project for Selenium application. Okay, for Selenium web program. First we have to create one Java program, then we can write here like what we have to do, Selenium web driver. This is our project name. Okay, and whenever, as you know, we had already seen this, by default location will be our default location of Selenium workspace, and then JRE, and nothing will be there. Then we have to finish it. Okay, when we have just project name we have put, and then click the finish button. Okay, after finishing it you will see your project inside the package explorer, project explorer, whatever will be open your left side panel. Okay, so here you can see, okay, here you can see the Selenium WebDriver, and we are getting src folder and JRE folder. Okay, now here we are creating here we are creating what we have to create. First we have to create a project sub package, then we have to create inside the package one class. So earlier whatever we did, like see, we have to create package. In package, you know, like we have to first start with a small letter. Now, please remember this thing, package, whenever we are getting package, so package first letter should be small letter, then or you can say lowercase, then it will be uppercase you can use, because Java is case sensitive. So that's why we require, we have to follow those uh, protocols, whatever protocols set in Java application, Java programs. So once we have created the package, inside the package we have to right click, and then we can create a new class. So new class we have to write, and here you can see again we are getting this kind of source folder will be over this. There's a project name in src folder. In src folder we have created demo web driver package. Okay, in this package inside we are creating a class name we are putting, suppose is we have seen for package, we require a lower letter in starting letter. Okay, we start with lowercase when we putting name of package, but here just opposite in class, when we start class name or we are creating some class inside the package, so first letter should be capital, then it will be lowercase or a small letter will be there. Okay, so first WebDriver program you can write down like this, and just you can right now we are using this public static void right now. Okay, so in this way whenever we are creating public static void, so we will see this our program, this project is created here. Okay, this is our creation of program. First we are creating, so this main method, whenever we are creating, whenever we would like to execute our program, so this main method will be responsible to execute those Java program. But when it is not there, then when this main method is not there, so how our application will perform, how our program will be execute. So at point of at that time we require some kind of unit testing framework. So those unit testing framework will help us to execute our program. So like see, initially when we are using WebDriver in Java, so you can also use this kind of scripting, public static void main, and inside this main method you can write your all the test cases. There is no annotation and nothing will be there, only you have to open the your URL and then execute your application. So this is one way, but this is not a right way. We would like to use our test engine framework, because we require some reporting also, because whenever we execute this with this main method, so we can execute our program but we cannot get a proper report. So report is also important for us, because finally we have to share those report to our respective team member or management level. So for that we are not using this kind of concept, the public static void main. Okay, then we have to remove it. Okay, after removing, right now how we are writing program, first writing how we can write first program in Selenium. Okay, so we can write our program. I'm giving you one template format. Okay, the standard template format I'm showing you in front of you. First we have to create the package project, then we have to define package name, then we have to define a class name. After putting the class name, what we have to do inside the class, we have to define some global variable. What is a global variable? Global variable or instance variable is a variable which is defined inside the class but outside the method. Okay, we had seen in our Java section, when we define three types of variable. One is a local variable, instance variable, and static variable. Okay, so these three kind of variable we had seen. So here we are using global variable or instance variable, where this variable will be defined inside the class but outside the method. Okay, so what we have to do, just we can write here web driver. Okay, web driver. Now the question is, what is a web driver? Okay, what is a WebDriver? So WebDriver is third component of Selenium. Okay, the third component of Selenium, it is very important, and in point of you can say this help us, and it is resolving our majorly issues, whatever difficulties we are facing into Selenium RC. Okay, so this very simple API you can get. Okay, this is one interface. WebDriver is a interface where you can uh, where you can work and access operating system and pass command to the browser from operating system. So there will be uh, there will be no such kind of Selenium server or Selenium client like that. It will be only, it will directly communicate with the browser, and the browser will launch. Then after launching the browser, it will execute that particular application. Okay, so the is compared to Selenium RC, in Selenium WebDriver will be based to the use as well as, and also it is much faster as compared to RC. Okay, if we want to test our browser, so we are not available machine, so we are working on, we have to use a remote WebDriver, and which will launch the browser, and that we want to test with and work with its through. Okay, where on our machine working or not. So main benefits of testing web application, many browser and many operating system combination will be possible using WebDriver. Okay, so WebDriver will help us to test our application in a such a way where our browser interaction or web application interaction will be very smoothly and running proper way. Okay, so here you can whenever we define a web driver as a driver, right now we are getting an error. How can we resolve this error? This, because this is auto compile mode, as we discussed earlier, because we are having this Java runtime environment in our this project. So whenever we are creating some program, and then program we did some kind of mistake, some error we are put it or something missed, so at that time we are getting this underline, the color combination will be different. We can change this color from our setting section. Okay, so right now you can just see this error we are getting. Okay, this, how can we resolve this error? You can resolve this error by using our all those jar files which we downloaded from seleniumhu.org section, which we discussed about the 5052 jars file. Okay, so those jar file we have to import in this project. So those jar file, it's not required every time you have to put in this project. Once whenever we create a new project, okay, this is one project, whenever you create new project, so that new project you require to add those all jar files. Okay, but for class or packages it's not required, because the package and the class that will be inside this project. So once project, it's required all jar files. Okay, just remember, whenever you are creating the project, different project will you create, so all projects required those jar file in your systems. Okay, right now we need to add or import those jar file inside this project. So what, how can we import those jar file in this project? So for that you require to, you need to right click this project, and you can click this build path. The two different way to go to that location where we can import those jar files. So one is this Selenium web. Right click on project, right click on project name, then you can click this build path. Inside the build path, inside this build path, you have to click this configure build path. You have to click this configure build path. When we click configure build path, we are getting some property for projects wizard. Okay, in this you can get also Java build path. Okay, this second one, this third one, you can see here Java build path. Inside this Java build path, there will be one tab is a libraries. Okay, in this library section we have to import all those jar files. Okay, so how can we import those jar file? Those jar file we import from here, add external jar file, because our add external jar file and add jar file, what is the difference between these two? Add jar file means we would like to add, though we can add those jar file which is available in particular project, in which project we are using. If suppose we are using clicking this add jar, so add jar means this project. If suppose this is our project name, this Selenium WebDriver, if suppose we are having those jar file, so from here you can select it and it will be inside the project. So at that time we can use, but right now we do not have any such kind of jar files with in this project. So those jar files are in our outside from this project, that's somewhere else. So for that we have to click this add external jar, and when you click it, you have to retrieve those location, which location where you had download those jar file and stored someplace. So as we seen, when we start over this session, we downloaded Selenium HQ.org section. There's a download Selenium 2.49.1, that's Java client binding folder. So here you can see uh, inside this Selenium training folder we had yeah, we had got this Selenium Java 2.49.1. okay, this one section here you have to go, then you have to click this two jar files, open it. After opening it, you can see here it will get it, and again we have to come this location same, and we have to select all, control A, we have to select all jar files and open it. So all jar files will be opened added here. Okay, inside this library for library tab, and now we have to click OK. After clicking OK, you will get your all jar files will be imported inside the project name. So right now just you seen, yeah, in this project you can see one, this reference library we had added right now. So this all this Selenium jar file you have seen, you can get in this small zip file location like that. Okay, so this is our all jar files, 52 jar files over in this reference library, and this system library, this is for Java runtime environment, and this is our class where we are creating our test script. So now when we come to our this error part, when we are creating some variable, so at that time we are getting those errors. So WebDriver, when we move your cursor to the error text, the WebDriver text, then you can resolve it very uh, smoothly. So here you can get a small quick fix. A small quick fix that will be like import WebDriver. We have to import this WebDriver. When we click it, this link org.openqa.selenium. So these links will be comes to here inside the package and in between package and public class. Okay, so just you have to click it, then you can see the error will be resolved. See, error resolved, and the error, whatever error we are getting, the resolved by that thing import section, import org openqa.selenium.webdriver, it's coming inside between the package and class. Okay, so this is a solver. Now here we which URL you would like to test. So that URL we have to define like string. Is a string we define as a, and this one variable we define string base URL. Okay, base URL we define as a string. Okay, now when we define it, so initially when we created right now I'm just using today I'm just showing you how can you execute through this public static void only. We can see our next class using test engine different test unit framework. We'll see with test engine Java also, but we can majorly we'll see practical and our scenario will complete through test engine. Okay, so a small one two example I will show you with JUnit how can we execute our JUnit application. Okay, so public static void, once again static public static void, then what is the main. Inside this main there will be string argument. Okay, string argument, then it will be close. Now what we have to do, now see what are the test cases. Okay, according to our test cases, now what we have to do, when just before writing your test script, okay, we have to plan, we have to plan like which browser we are using. Okay, first thing, in that browser which URL you have to open it. So second point will be first we have to, first point, what is the first point? First point will be, first point will be to choose browser, which browser we would like to perform. Second point will be to open URL, which URL you would like to open. Third will be activity. In this, after opening this URL, some activity will be going on. So this major activity will be your major test case. Okay, and after activity completion, whenever you perform your all testing activity. Okay, test activity, so after finishing this testing activity you have to close this browser, or you have to send a report like that. So these will be our major steps, and majorly in the test cases you can get from this section, testing activity. So the testing activity will be depend upon requirement, which kind of testing we try to perform. There will be a smoke test, sanity test, and the integration test. So lot of testing, validation, checkpoints into in testing. So everything will be depend upon our requirement. Okay, based on our requirement. So now first we have to choose the browser. Suppose we are using, and Selenium is by default browser, which is a by default browser of Selenium. By default browser of Selenium is your which one? Firefox. Okay, so Firefox is a by default browser of Selenium. So yes, so for Firefox we do not require any kind of extension or any kind of exe, but whenever we would like to use IE or Chrome, so at that time we require some exe path like that. So because that was IE, and the Chrome is third party tool. Okay, this is not directly supported by Selenium. So right now we are just I'm getting example of Firefox. So how can we write Firefox? So here we have to define the drive browser, which browser we like to use. So here we have to write driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, this is a one syntax of command here you can get. So see, because we are using this static word, okay, and this driver we define, this driver we define here is a normal variable, that's local. So here we also, because we are using static method, so the variable we define as a global variable, web driver, so it should be also static. we have to use static keyword for this, because where here we are defining this driver inside the static method. So static method when we are using, so we have to static. Else if suppose we define this both variable inside this main method, so it's not required to put a static word. Okay, so right now when again we have to move our cursor inside in this text in Firefox driver. When then we have to import this Firefox driver. So you can see again this import section comes to our in between. Okay, so this is our quick fix. Okay, now here we have to define base URL. So for that also, for base URL, URL also our static keyword. Okay, this should be also static. We have to define as a static keyword. Okay, so whenever we define static, so it will be resolved when we save it. Okay, static keyword means here you can see your this is resolved. The base URL means what is your base URL? Base URL you can put here. You have to put URL of that application, which application you would like to test. Suppose we are using google.com. Okay, so base URL will be http colon double slash www.google.com. So this root base URL, you have to define root base URL. We do not write only google.com or www.google.com. We require all this as a normal HTTP protocol. This is required because without this HTTP, our application will be not executed by Selenium. Okay, so now what we have to do? Now see, we define our browser and which browser we would like to use, which URL we have to test. So first is we would like to launch Firefox browser, and we define we have to test Google application. Okay, Google web application. So now we have to navigate, or we have to open the URL in the browser. So for that what command we can use? So see, for opening the navigate, open the or launching the URL, open or launching the URL in our web browser. Okay, in web browser there will be two way. Okay, there's a two way. One way is get method. Okay, there's two method available in this in Selenium. One is our get method, second is navigate method. Okay, just remember these two things. One is get method, second is navigate method. When we would like to launch URL in our web browser, so for launching URL in web browser there will be two method available in Selenium. One is a get method, second is a navigate method. Okay, so when we are using get method, when we are using navigate method, how navigate is more flexible as compared to get, we'll see. So see, there is just two, both are using for launching the URL, but why we are using navigate, sometimes why we are using get method? So get method is do not have such kind of property. Get method will only redirect the page, or we can just get the page. We open the page only. Whatever URL we would like to use, that URL will only we can open or we can launch that URL. But in navigate, okay, in navigate you can see there are more properties will be there. In navigate section you can get some more property like navigate method to refresh method. There will be refresh option will be there. Okay, refresh navigate dot forward. Okay, this also, and navigate dot back. So these three properties you can get into navigate method. So these three properties you can get inside the navigate. But in get method we do not have this kind of activities, this kind of properties. Okay, so this will be help us to navigate will be best approach as compared to get method. Okay, so where sometime what happen, sometime our page is not loaded properly, so at that time we have to do refresh option. Okay, we are refreshing our web page, we press F5 multiple times for loading our page as such way. Okay, so we can use refresh, navigate dot refresh whenever we require. Sometime we are using our back button or forward button for page navigation purpose, so at the time we can use this kind of method. So right now we would like to open uh, Google web page inside the Firefox browser. So for that, how can we write? So for that, you have to just write driver dot. When you just put driver dot, so whatever method available in WebDriver, okay, whatever methods available in WebDriver, so all method you will see inside this list of these are our intelligence, you can say intelligent because WebDriver Selenium, this is a and Eclipse is a intelligence development environment, okay, IDE. So this is having those kind of feature where we just putting our command and it will display all the methods available inside the Selenium. Okay, so it will display to us all the respective methods, so all methods you can get. And is with respect to the object, according to our object, which object we would like to, there is different object as well. So whenever you are getting object method does a get class equal, or here you can say hash code. So for that also you can get some reference information, how can we use get class, what should be written by this class. So return the runtime class of the object. So this is one way, but here we are using what we would like to use, we would like to navigate. So just you can put a navigate and you press N, so it will be sorted down whatever command, whatever object methods will be start with letter N, that should be displaying in sorting order. Okay, so now they see navigate, okay, dot. So in dot section, when you put dot, so for navigate properties, whatever activities, whatever method properties you available for this, that should be display inside the inside this box. That's a template proposal. Okay. So here you can see the navigation will be this back method, then power method, and then refresh and to. These four properties will be available for navigate purpose. Navigate to. So you will just see that we are saying to WebDriver, please navigate to this URL. Okay, please navigate to this URL, so system will perform according to that. So when we execute this application, so system will come first this line, it will display, it will check which browser it will be. After coming here, we will move to this location because this is only our what you can say, this is only our you can say like variable definition, variable we define here, like base URL we put the variable here. So base URL is our variable, in the top there's a static variable we seen, and in variable this value. Now after 19th line you can, the system will come to us for the 7th line, and here it will check, our system will say to WebDriver, please navigate to this URL. So which URL? This base URL. So what is the base URL? Base URL is your http colon double slash then www.google.com. So it will open this URL inside the Firefox browser. Okay, just see I am running it. So for running this test script, how can we run it? So just you have to click this because this is a normal Java application right now. It is not with help of Selenium. Okay, so you can see whenever we do not use our any kind of framework, unit testing framework, so till now we are not getting anything inside this run as section. We have to use this normal Java application for us right now, so we can use this first item as a run as. So whenever we are running this, so you can see system is executing. Okay, it's launched. See, it was very fast. It was very fast. It was run. See, this is our web page, google.com. Okay, you will get report after execution. Okay, here in console section you will get a report. So we are not getting anything here. Okay, this command you can get here, terminated. Terminated means the first web developer program. Okay, first web developer program is successfully worked. So we do not get any kind of information, any kind of report. So this is a success or this is pass, this is fail. Okay, whenever we are using this main method. Okay, so our web application is open. Okay, our web application is open. The google.com we require to open in Firefox browser. So it's launched Firefox browser and it's also hit the URL google.com, but we did not get any kind of report. Okay, so for that reason we require some kind of automation testing test unit framework. So test unit framework we will use testng either JUnit. Okay, so whenever we are using that kind of uh, unit testing framework, so we require some annotations. Okay, some annotation here you can see there is no annotation or nothing will be there, only the thing will be executed by this main method. Okay, this main method will help us to execute our program. But when we would like to execute our application with another way, like the same example we are looking with different way, like using JUnit or testng, then you can see how you will get a report. So for that, second web driver program. Okay, I'm not using this public static void right now. Just click second web driver element here, you can see. Okay, now again, now here what we have to do, now we are using C normal JUnit testing framework. One example I'm showing you for JUnit testing frameworks, how it will be execute, how you can get a report for JUnit testing framework. So JUnit testing framework is a unit testing framework which will be very older testing framework for Java application. Okay, so it will help us to execute using these three annotation. One is the add that before. This is nothing but this, what is called, this is your annotation. This is representing us as a annotation. Okay, this is called as a annotation. Okay, the before, add the rate before, it's whenever we are using this add the rate is representing to add before before executing our another method or another method, we have to execute this section, this block only. Okay, so for this we have to require some method. Do setup. Do setup means whatever setup will be there, we have to execute first this thing. Okay, so before executing our application, our test script, we have to execute this before block. At that before means it should be always, execute this method first. Do setup. Okay, now same we have to use quick fix. So quick fix generator is by default integrated with Selenium and Eclipse. So we just click import before. So again you can see the import will be into our in between class and package name. Okay, see here. Now again we can create here one more thing, add that test. Add that test means this is our test application, test script when we are creating. So the here we can use public void do test. What test? Which test you like to? That's a Google. Okay, now see again, after testing we require something. After test, what we have to do? After test means there will be public void do uh, you can say after test also you can put here. Okay, now you can see. So for these two things we just import over that unit, and here you can get for test there are two annotation. So we require generate first test, and we also displaying there but not right now. So this is our one template you can say for your application, test application. So as you can see here, before test after, so this is sequentially be written here, but it's not required to write sequence each time. You can write your, you can use non-sequence order also when we are using first as at that test instead of at before, or you can use it after first, then you can use a test in bottom of it before also you can put. So this kind of activity will be happen. Okay, so in before section whatever configuration part, okay, whatever configuration part, the configuration part should be come into before section. Okay, the configuration part will come into our before section. So before start to test execution in your project, in your application, what parameter we have to fix, like see when before starting our web application testing, we require setup like open the browser, open the URL, okay, which URL you like to use. So that thing come inside this before section. And after section, it after test section, it after, it means after test execution. After test execution what thing we have to do, so those point should come into your after section. In after section generally we are putting in our like sending the output, sending the report to the team. Okay, whenever we are getting is error in between the our execution, so at that time we can take a screenshot and we can share those screenshot with the report. Okay, also test execution report will be there. So test execution report will be come to place. So that will be the after annotation will be help to do this kind of activity after finishing our test execution. And in between test, in this test annotation we require all the, in this test Google, in this section we can use all the test cases. We can we can insert, we can write our all test case inside this Google. Or if suppose you like to um, separately different like test case wise, you like to write your test case, so also you can do. In a class we can use multiple test case, multiple test method we can create. Okay, in a single class. Like see, this is one test case, another test case you like to use. So just we can put here as add test. Add test is represent us like this is our test case. Okay, add test is a represent us this is our test case. Okay, so here now again we have to use public void do. The method name you can put as per your concern, as per your thought, as per your application. So the nomenclature will be not required to you specifically. You have to put this name, this name, like that. If this is related to your application, so what application you like to use, that application name should be in your test case section. So do test, and here you can put down do test validate, like see. Okay, so these two test method we are using here. Okay, so how can we write our test case now? So earlier for first WebDriver program we executed properly, but we do not get any kind of report such way. Okay, so same thing when we are using inside this second WebDriver program. So what will be happen? See, so in this setup section, in the setup method, we require to put a name like browser, which browser we would like to use, which browser we would like to use. That will be driver equal to what will be new Firefox driver. Okay, this is our one. Yeah, we had done one mistake here. We have to put variable first here. So web driver driver. Okay, now string base URL equal to thing like that. So you happen. Now we have to add inside this import section. Okay, got it. Now for Firefox browser, same thing will be there. Firefox D should be capital letter. Okay, Firefox driver. Now you have to send import Firefox driver. Now here base URL equal to http dot what will be there google.com. Okay, now see. So this is our base URL. Now you would like to execute this URL. You would like to open this URL inside the our Firefox browser. So for that we have to, this is our test. Okay, launching the URL in our web browser. So it's come into our test case section. So it should be driver.navigate.to, which to means to where into to means there will be base URL. Okay, U is small but here U is capital. Okay, so this is our base URL. Okay, so we are not using this second method right now. So first you have to see how this application behave, how this application run, and how can we get a report. So see, this is here run. We are using JUnit annotation. So we are using JUnit. We are selected as run as a JUnit application. When you run it, then you can see in left side corner you can get a generate tab. Okay, in this is our first validation. Do test Google. So nothing will be there to test for validation purpose, but do Google test. There will be one URL will be there. Okay, so right now you just got a URL. Okay, See, the problem is that the error we are getting here because see, this is our Google. Okay, this is to validate. So this is not a sequence when you are using this to method, but here this is not in sequence to execute. Okay, suppose we are not using this method, so you can see the application working properly, because whenever it launches it not find this URL, this test Google, because okay, so for that we require. So here you can see also there's a binary locking point. One second, there will be some. One second, I have to use Firefox. It's open Firefox browser automatically. I am not doing anything. Okay, just checking the Firefox browser. Whenever we are Selenium web traffic is launching Firefox browser or any browser, it will display as normal. You can say minimize condition. Okay, and our after some implementation, it will be increase or maximize the platform. So here we are getting some error. So for Firefox browser, so it think we have to resolve it first. So in second line, you have seen the unable to bind to locking up port 7054 with 45,000 millisecond build information. The error we are getting. So test base URL. Base URL is google.com. Now we can solve this errors. Base URL after test. See, after test it will also, you can put here after test it should be close our browser. Okay, after set test you would like to close our browser, otherwise our every time we are getting new browser and our browser's numbers will be increased. Okay, so system performance will going down. So what happened, so after completion of our test execution we should close the browser. Okay, so this is one approach where we can do. Right now when we again would like to execute this, then see here, now it's working properly. So first time it was, I don't know what happened, but yeah. So see, this is our report. So here you can see the JUnit report is taking around 25 seconds to open the browser and web application entirely. Okay, so this is your test. So this is your test kind of report. So this way you can get while you are using JUnit. Okay, so we are not majorly going to JUnit, we are majorly focused into test engine. So test engine is also having this kind of annotation, but there are a lot of annotation as compared to JUnit. JUnit is having limited annotation, but test engine is a lot of annotation that will be help us to execute our test script with a different way. That's it's our requirement based way. Okay, and also you can get a report in such a way where you can show those report to your non-management person. Okay, So today we are finishing this our class because there's some issues on our services. So we'll continue on 13th Feb onward. Okay. So meanwhile, you will get a class on 30, 31st and 6 and 30, 31 January and 6 Feb and 7th Feb, uh, 4 days. So the brush up section, someone from our training section who is conducting Java program. So they will conduct a brush up section for Java. Okay, so you can join those days and take class from him, and they will help you how can you write Java program. If you have any questions and for Java related, so you can ask them and he will surely solve you. And they, okay, so our class will be continued on 13th Feb onward. Okay, so thanks for joining today, and we'll see you on 13th Feb.